Alright, this is a final video on the HQ129X. I'm going to do a quick overview of what I did on this unit to get it working again. First things first, I replaced the power cord, obviously because it was shot, and the wires going to the switch were all crumbly and stuff too, so I replaced that whole thing, that whole section. And then obviously the filter caps in here, which is typical, and checked all the tubes. I went through obviously and replaced every wax cap in this unit along with the filter caps. Notice this tube up here, which here is an 6SJ7, was replaced with a 6SA7. I swapped them back out, not realizing that the mod was different. Tested it, it didn't work. Did some research, found the mod online, replaced the tube so that it had the original, or the mod tube in there, which is this circuit here. Tested it again, still nothing. Got nothing at all. So that's when I decided to go ahead and just take the entire modification out. Just remove it and replace everything back to stock. Now I did notice with this mod, not only is, this entire BFO section different, I mean, there were several other things. They had, if you follow the original, comes through this cap up to the number 3, the 6H6. That line from here down was completely removed. In fact, this, from the transformer to 3 here, this line was cut off completely. There was nothing going to number 3. So this one went to pin 8 of V5. So it went here, right here, connected right up here. So I went and rebuilt this entire thing back to the way it was. They were all disconnected from these switches here too, because it went to a rotary switch. So along with removing the rotary switch, I had to go and find out which switches were which, rewire those back in the hole, because it's all in that BFO section under the can, and rewire all of that. Got all that done, went through and checked all my voltages. My voltages were a little high. It's going to be high a little bit because you went from 110 to 120 nowadays, but it was still higher than it should have been. The voltages down here all seemed fine. This section here was even disconnected. It just went from here to the switch. Relay was completely disconnected, so I rewired all that too. Checked the voltages, they were all good. The regulated voltage was fine. These were different. I checked all the voltages in all the tubes. They were all good except for here. 6H6 was the same circuit up here. So this is all reconnected back up, so it wasn't an issue there. I thought maybe the limit switch, because I was getting some odd things on the limit switch. I was getting power, or getting some noise, some reception while it was on the on position, but not on the off position, which was odd. So I retraced all through the circuits again, checked all the powers, checked went a signal tracer from the beginning and traced it all up here, and everything ended right in here. So I went back through, rechecked everything. This resistor was way off, replaced it. The 60K here was off, replaced it. This was the sensitivity volume was off a little bit, but not enough to replace it. So this was working okay now. The meter circuit, I had to replace all these resistors because they were all bad and it was wired weird. So I rewired all that. Now that works fine. The meter adjustment was fine. It read fine. Still odd on my voltages over here. Retraced through again. Back here, replaced everything, and just worked backwards. This was fine. This resistor right here, the 47K, number, what was that, R31, was missing, was gone, wasn't even in the unit. I wasn't receiving anything over to here. I was getting stuff from this side of the transformer now because I reconnected all that. But this guy was missing, so I was getting nothing over here, which made sense. So replace this guy. Oh, and before I replaced that, I was getting radio stations. I was getting a lot, actually, really sensitive, but the volume was way down. So once I replaced that guy, volume shot up. So then I went through and I did a quick alignment. I don't have a sweep generator, so I did it by ear. And I was pulling in stations I couldn't hear with my regular radio, so it did a pretty good job. The modification is this guy here. What it does is it adds a product detector in the BFO circuit, sorry. The lighting's kind of bad. So, I mean, that's the circuit there. There's a lot of rewiring. I guess instead of rewiring the existing switches, like it says in the article, he just added a whole new switch and just disconnected everything. I can take pictures of this and put it on there if anybody's interested. But yeah, that's it there. Thing works great. I have it sitting up here, ready to go. Right next to this guy. It's going to be working as a unit. I still want to do something with an extra hole up here. Not sure what yet. I'll probably make something on my CNC, make some kind of a call sign thing, throw up in there, backlit, kind of fill in the hole, make it look kind of cool, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it. All done. I'll throw a little video of it working right over this. All right, here it is all done in the case. Case was painted by the previous owner, so it's not brand new looking, but either is the front. So let's tune it up a little here.
HQ129X and LO NMLS 293064. This is not an offer to enter into an agreement. Not all customers will
Local station.
by the Department of Business Oversight under the
Limiter works.
and loans made or arranged pursuant
I'll show you BFO here in a minute. Well,
to license NMLS number 2289.
I'll go to a different station for that.
NMLS number
Let's cruise up the dial a little bit.
Let us show you how
All I have is this
making the orders
little
less stressful. What he said.
antenna there.
Liberty and religious freedom. Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative
So
wireless
that all works.
for broad nationwide coverage.
Manual works. ABC works. It all works.
Any budget, and they're 100%
Higher, lifting the NASDAQ up by 97 points per. Celebrate by drinking a milkshake too fast and get up.
I really like this radio. It's really pretty sensitive. I do the shortwave bands, but there's really not a whole lot going on right now. We got kind of a storm coming over, so there's not a whole lot of action on there. But medium wave is good. Everything comes in good on the locals. So look inside real quick. Cleaned it up as best as I could. I mean, there's just some stuff down there that's just not going to come off, and I'm not going to go and take a scouring pad or anything to it. It's good the way it is. This here, I'll show it on a photo. Whoever did the mod tried to drill a big hole in here. And it's pretty ugly. And this is all shielding, so I took some aluminum tape, excuse me, and taped that over. It's not as good as the original, obviously, but hey, it's better than it was, and it, at first glance, you can't really tell, so. There it is. I have a speaker, this guy here. Plugged it in, it actually sounds pretty good, so I'm going to build a speaker enclosure for it. Kind of in the same style as this era, maybe not the same style as the Hammarlund speaker that came out. I'm not sure yet. But there's a few styles out there. I want to kind of make it look at least somewhat of the period. I'm probably just going to leave the face the way it is. I can get it redone for about 150 bucks and then shipped, but I don't know if I want to put that out right now. It's not bothering me a whole lot. This bugs me just a little bit. This is where the mod was. Let me turn that down. This is where the mod was. I'm throwing around an idea of installing or making a kind of a backlit placard for here with my call sign on it. I have a CNC machine that I built that I might be able to make something with that in plexiglass. We'll see. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, if I do, I'll post that on there too. But there you go, all finished, all buttoned up.